CBS News Bay Area Afternoon Edition with Ann Makovic.
Right now on the afternoon edition, hundreds of flights across the country canceled. Bay Area passengers starting to see the effects as the FAA's flight reductions begin. And this is only the beginning. Thanks for joining us this Friday. It's already been a rough day for travelers and things could get worse over the weekend. The FAA's flight cuts have begun at 40 high traffic airports. This is an attempt to keep the skies safe as the record-long government shutdown drags on. Here's a map of the airports that were ordered to cut back on flights, which includes SFO and Oakland International. The cuts are happening in phases. So 4% ordered today, increasing to 10% next week. And today, the transportation secretary said that could go up to 20% of flights cut if the shutdown does not end soon. Taking a live look at the two Bay Area airports impacted. Passengers at both are currently affected by cancellations and delays. SFO's problem started early. A staffing shortage forced an FAA ground stop on arriving flights, and that led to delays of more than an hour on average. Veronica Macias live at SFO. Veronica, we're also talking about those cancellations, which are the really rough ones.
Yeah, you know, airlines like United right now, they say they're trying to be as transparent as possible and just reduce the level of stress for their customers. And we've definitely have seen that here at SFO. A lot of people feeling a little bit of anxiety as they arrive to the airport. A lot of people taking a look at the board. That's what they do as they arrive here at SFO. And we know that this has been the mission here of what the airlines are doing. They're doing their best right now to cancel their regional early flights to places like Orange County, Las Vegas, Ontario. They have multiple flights a day to these airports, and that gives them the opportunity to then rebook people on a later flight. United notified customers already of those scheduled flight cancellations for this weekend. They're aiming to give people 3 days notice at least. And right now they say they have open seats for people who are needing a backup plan. A 4% reduction equals 10 flights out of their 300 here at SFO. Things are expected to get worse over the weekend. And even as they ramp up cuts, having to cancel 10% of their flights for airlines like United, that's only 250 for the entire company. And this morning, they told us their teams are trained to handle the reduction.
This situation is, we knew in advance. If it's a weather event or a cancellation due to another situation, it's usually in the moment, so we're reactionary. Right now, this proactive stance that the company's taking, that United's taking, that our amazing technology, we already have situations similar to a winter operation, so we can protect our customers. We're really good at this. 10 flights a day, and as we ramp up, again, this is just like a winter event.
Meanwhile, international flights and flights going from hub to hub, those aren't impacted. And already we know airlines like United are giving people a refund if they ask for one within this period, also eliminating those fees that come with changing your flight. And we also know other airlines are working to make things less stressful for people. But the best thing you can do if you're traveling during this period is to go to the Department of Transportation. They've created a dashboard there for people to know the rules that apply when it comes to getting a refund from either a cancellation, a delay, or even lost baggage. Ann.
All right, good to know. Veronica Macias live for us at SFO. Here's some video from this morning of the flight status board at the Oakland airport. FlightAware says so far to date there have been 27 delays and 12 cancellations in Oakland. And now let's take a look at the FlightAware, what they call the misery map. The red represents the numbers of delays and cancellations at some of the country's major airports. This is the map from 9 a.m. yesterday, so not that much misery, but this is the map from 9 a.m. today. Can we switch that out? Okay, you can see there's a pretty big jump there, especially at SFO. Again, this is happening in dozens of airports across the country, including several around California. One of the biggest disruptions is happening at LAX. The international airport has seen more than 100 delays and 54 cancellations. San Diego International dealing with dozens of delays and 27 cancellations. And Ontario International, east of Los Angeles, has seen a handful of disruptions. And again, that is only so far today. Now, even if you don't fly, this could all still have an impact on you. Air cargo planes used by companies like FedEx and UPS are affected. Officials say the flight cuts will slow down the entire supply chain. Well, in Washington, there is some optimism that a deal could be reached to end this government shutdown. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer just said that Democrats would vote to reopen the government if Republicans agree to a one-year extension of health insurance tax credits. 1 year. He says the ball is in Republicans' courts now. Senate Republicans are pushing to vote on a House funding bill with the goal of amending it to include a long-term appropriations bill. But Majority Leader John Thune says they plan to vote on a bill to pay federal workers first. So we'll keep an eye on that. Meanwhile, the Trump administration is requesting a federal appeals court block a judge's order to fully fund SNAP benefits, food stamps. Earlier this week, the administration said it would partially fund SNAP for November. The situation is getting complicated, though, with many states already processing financial support for recipients on their own. Governor Gavin Newsom's office says Californians are already starting to see their benefits fully restored to their EBT cards. And even as Californians receive benefits, the mayor's office in San Francisco says the city's gift card program will continue through November. We're told that people who are eligible should be getting those funds now. And in the North Bay, Marin County has authorized spending up to $800,000 this month for SNAP recipients, also known as CalFresh here in California. County leaders say they are also considering distributing the money with gift cards. And as counties step up, you can make a difference this holiday season as well. Food banks seeing a massive demand with this ongoing shutdown. So we are proud to announce Food for Bay Area Families is returning for another year. For more info on how you can donate to our local food banks or become a volunteer, you can scan the QR code there on your screen or head to our website, kpix.com/give. All right, the weekend, just hours away. So let's take a live look outside, checking in on our weather forecast. For whatever you have planned, meteorologist Jessica Birch has a look at it. Really cool shot.
Such a beautiful shot of the Golden Gate Bridge. I'm stunned. And I'm very excited for this weekend because we are warming up and drying up right around the corner. As we head into the next couple days, we're going to see daytime highs jump back into the upper 70s throughout our inland spots. Today's kind of that transition day, holding on tight to low 70s anywhere from the Santa Clara Valley up into wine country too. Now, a couple things we want to talk about up into wine country earlier this morning. We had some light showers passing through. That's going to start tapering off. We clear up a lot as we dive into this weekend's forecast. The big story for us right now still has to do with coastal flooding. There's still a chance we could see that into the afternoon hours today, early morning hours tomorrow. That's when this advisory will expire along communities just along our shoreline in the bay. So that's what we're keeping a close eye on. And that also is the case stretched all the way down into places like Monterey and Salinas too. Taking a look at our daytime highs down there, we're holding on tight to 60s today in Monterey, 70s up into Santa Cruz. Beautiful conditions to get out there and get some fresh air. Just be very careful along our coastline. I'm going to have more on this weekend coming up in just a bit. Back to you.
Thanks, Jess. Still ahead here at noon and streaming on CBS News Bay Area. Now that Nancy Pelosi has announced her retirement, the race to replace her is underway. We're going to hear from two candidates hoping to win her seat in Congress. San Jose is partnering with Caltrans to clean up state land along highways in the city. Ahead of a cleanup this morning, Mayor Matt Mahan joined volunteers to announce the agreement. It allows the city to quickly address messy vegetation, litter, or growing encampments on Caltrans property at 13 different locations.
And let's be honest, people don't care whose land it is. It's all public land. So here's the reality. You've got a sidewalk here, City of San Jose. You can see the strip that's our land, and you can see the strip that's state land. It's very obvious, but the community doesn't care. They just want it to be clean and beautifully landscaped and well maintained.
Well, according to the agreement, the City of San Jose will be reimbursed up to $400,000 to cover partial costs. Two candidates hoping to write California's next chapter in Congress. Now that Nancy Pelosi has announced her retirement, the former House Speaker is going to finish out her term, but says she will not seek re-election next November. That's going to end the career of the most powerful woman in U.S. politics, who represented San Francisco for almost 4 decades. So far, only 2 men have joined the fray. They both launched campaigns before Pelosi's announcement. Kelsey Thorud spoke with them about the future of the district.
For the first time in 40 years, San Francisco will have a new representative in Congress after Election Day 2026. And whoever succeeds Nancy Pelosi knows they'll have some big shoes to fill.
San Franciscans set the bar very, very high. And you need to have a moral compass and core values. You need to have a backbone of steel. And you need to know how to get things done.
You know, when she first went into Congress, she was this fearless voice that was fighting to get help for the AIDS epidemic that was devastating the city at that time. And because she was fearless, because she spoke out and she fought, we got money and we got help, and she actually did a lot for that. And, you know, what I sort of feel right now, when I look at the country right now, I think San Francisco needs that again.
State Senator Scott Wiener and Shoykot Chakrabarty, a former tech executive and chief of staff to Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, have thrown their hats in the ring. Both men are 30-plus years younger than Pelosi and lean farther to the left on the political spectrum.
I really don't think the divide and the generational change that's happening is about left versus center. I really think it's a difference of status quo versus change, right? Are we going to have a new party of leaders who know how to fight to stop this coup and use every tool at their disposal to stop Trump right now? And will we have an actual vision to create an economy that works for people?
You know, I'm proud to be running to represent San Francisco in Congress, and it would be just an incredible honor to take the work we've done around housing, healthcare, clean energy, civil rights to Washington.
Caroline Heldman, a professor of politics at Occidental College, says whoever wins Pelosi's seat will have the eyes of not only the Bay Area, but the entire country on them.
Given the fact that Nancy Pelosi is arguably the most powerful woman in U.S. political history, anyone who is taking her seat is going to get a lot of focus, at least during their first term in the House.
Caroline expects there may be even more candidates that enter the race for Pelosi's seat, but no matter who wins next November, she expects they will have much more liberal views than the former speaker. It's something Caroline says is a sign of the times, but one that doesn't take away from Pelosi's legacy.
I'm not sure she could get elected today, given her centrist position and the divisiveness in the country, but her leadership was so important in maintaining a balance of power between the legislative branch and the executive branch, and that balance does not exist today.
It is another month without a jobs report because of the government shutdown. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger takes a look at other data, trying to get an idea about where the job market is heading.
Payroll giant ADP said private companies added 42,000 jobs in October, reversing losses from the previous months. But small to medium-sized firms are still struggling. All of the job creation came from companies employing at least 250 workers. Separately, job search site Indeed reported the lowest level of job postings since February 2021 amid the pandemic, while outplacement firm Challenger Gray and Christmas reported that announced layoffs jumped in October. Taken together, they paint a picture of sluggish hiring. If you're worried about staying employed, you're not alone. There's ample evidence job hugging is replacing job hopping.
Well, if you're worried about job stability, she advises to be proactive and looking for new opportunities and focus on networking. Always a good idea. Taking a check on Wall Street, here is a live look at the big board right now. The Dow is up just slightly, about 14 points. Back to our first alert weather. Let's take another live look outside. This is from our Black Mountain camera. And I see the weekend on the horizon. Here's meteorologist Jessica Birch. Hey, you say you're going to go flying today, huh?
Tomorrow, which is even better because the winds are going to be a lot calmer tomorrow at the surface level and up in the skies. And then on top of that, we're also going to see a lot more blue skies in the forecast for us around the corner. I'm excited. All right, so here's what's happening for us. As we head all the way up into the North Bay, places like Napa and Sonoma, we're in for a treat today. We're talking about 70s for our daytime highs, and we're only warming up more as we head into the next couple days, too. You make your way over into the East Bay, it's looking very similar. From Livermore all the way down into the Santa Clara Valley, we have low 70s this afternoon. We talked about this earlier, but one more time, if you do live along those coastal communities and or if you commute along these communities, we are still under that coastal flood advisory right now for all the highlighted zones and counties on this map until tomorrow. So just be very careful out there, especially on those low-lying areas. We're going to continue to monitor this closely as we head into the next couple days. Now, diving into this weekend and early next week, we have some small changes in the forecast for us. We're going to warm up a bit more into this weekend. Partly cloudy skies Saturday and Sunday for our friends along the bay, especially in the morning hours. We continue to see cloudy skies into early next week, but then we have low pressure rolling in from offshore. That's going to cool us off by Wednesday. It brings in evening showers as we head into Wednesday night. And then by early Thursday morning, a next batch of showers starts rolling in from offshore. And that's not just for our friends along the bay. What you see behind me right now, that live look over the Bay Bridge from our rooftop here at KPIX, it's painting a good picture for what we're going to see into this weekend. Partly cloudy skies still on tap for us. 70s slowly starting to warm up into the upper 70s in our inland spots by Saturday. We'll hold on tight to that warmer weather as we head into early next week, despite the fact that we're still dealing with partly cloudy skies. And then we all cool down together as we head into Wednesday and Thursday of next week as the next batch of showers starts rolling in from offshore. So we're done with the rain for now. We had pretty impressive rainfall totals earlier this week as that atmospheric river swept through. Now we're starting to warm up and dry up day by day. I'm going to show you what we can expect in just a little bit as we head into next week. But for now, I'm going to send it back over to you.
Thanks, Jess. The 49ers back home this weekend for a rematch with the Rams. San Francisco's going to try to beat L.A. for the second time this season. Matt Lively has our Red and Gold report.
This is the Audi Red and Gold report.
Brock Purdy was limited again at practice on Thursday, so there's a good chance Mac Jones will start Sunday against the Rams. But when Purdy does return, maybe Mac can play another position on offense?
Trent Williams says you don't act like a quarterback. What does that mean exactly?
I don't know. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
No, it's a very good thing, Mac. His toughness has won his teammates over. He's taken plenty of big hits while filling in for Purdy, but he continues to get back up.
I think he's doing it intentionally now. I think that's kind of what it seems like. He's just getting mildly banged up on purpose because it looks cool.
You've got the bloody nose. You're limping around out there. What's your perseverance been like?
It's all good. I'm fine. I'm just dramatic, I guess.
When we first started playing with him and he was down a couple times, you obviously get really worried. But now when he goes down, you almost, knock on wood, but I just always feel like Mac's going to get back up and find a way to go out there and play.
For the Red and Gold Report, I'm Matt Lively.
Well, coming up, jack-o'-lanterns are so last week. Now that Halloween is over, what to do with all those pumpkins? They're getting nasty at this point. Coming up, why it is important to keep them out of landfills. Well, you might have an old pumpkin sitting around from Halloween, and in today's Project Earth, we're talking about tens of millions of them having been carved up for the holiday. If you're trying to figure out what to do with your now sagging jack-o'-lantern, you're not alone. Juliette Goodrich has tips on a greener way to do it.
Happy Halloween! Wishing it was longer, but Halloween's over. Time to pack up the costumes and decorations. But what about the pumpkins? All those pumpkins.
We started thinking about, well, what should we do?
The U.S. grows more than 2 billion pumpkins a year, with California's San Joaquin Valley as a top producer. But we dump a lot of our jack-o'-lanterns in all the wrong places. More than 80% of them are thrown into landfill, and that creates a potent greenhouse gas known as methane. There's a simple alternative, and Californians are required to do it. It's called composting.
Composting anything organic is better than throwing it out because you're not creating more refuse in landfills. You're not creating methane gas. And it's better for your compost pile to have more organic material in it.
Composting your pumpkin puts essential nutrients back in the soil and helps new plants to grow. Feel free to smash the gourd into smaller pieces. Another tip, before composting, remove any candles, plastic, glitter, or other decorations from your jack-o'-lantern. That will ensure you'll carve out a better future for planet Earth.
Coming up next at noon, we now know who is up for Grammy Gold. The names of some of the nominees up next. Grammy nominations are out. Big names like Sabrina Carpenter, Justin Bieber, and Bad Bunny have been nominated for Album of the Year. Music's biggest night is happening February 1st, and you can watch it here on KPIX. That is going to do it for the afternoon edition. Remember, we are streaming 24/7.